Welcome to BeerNet Radio. Listen to on every continent except Antarctica. B-double-E-R-R-N-E-T.
Beer.
BeerNet Radio.
Get your bitching out of the way, Harry. Get
You
your
kidding
bitching out of the
me?
way.
Are you? Wait, are you out on a beach or something?
I'm in Dripping Springs at Desert Door Sotoleria. They do sotol.
Dripping Springs.
Yeah, he gave me a day off.
cheeky
And,
of you.
I'm taking advantage of it.
Well, good. Is this for? I know you're a good Catholic. Is this for your Easter weekend holiday?
Oh, is my mom around? She's already given me, like all these Bible passages to read, and I'm gonna have to read the kids before she comes over on Sunday. Kids, we've read all of these passages. Don't forget, today's not about Easter eggs; it's about the resurrection of the Lord.
That's right. I don't know if you know this, Jen, but I have had diarrheas since Easter's.
Me too.
Yeah, so it's been damn near a year.
Oh Lord! I thought all this time I thought you were just eating gummies.
I know. No, that too. Don't get me sideways. Well, that's good. So I just had an idea just occurred to me because like I mentioned this morning on our feed, Jordan presumably is coming back.
Presumably.
I know. I mean, wouldn't that be an asshole move to wait until the end of paternity leave and say, "Oh, by the way, I'm putting my 2 weeks notice in"?
Don't say these things, Harry.
Oh no, I'll cut that in post. But
from a deep slumber before.
Well, I thought it would be fun because I'd like to add extra work for us before he gets back. Is to do a pod just with us, and it'll be a bring Jordan up to speed pod.
Okay, that would be fun.
Yeah, and it would be a way also for our listeners, to kind of get a recap of what's happened over the last 2 months. Yes, folks, 2 months. We give paternity leave for 2 months because we are a progressive company. And, well, Jen, you're gone. Can't hear you. There. Oh my God.
Trying to be on brand here.
Why do you do this to me?
Payback.
Oh.
And today we have Kyle Bradshaw, VP of Brands now for New Belgium, right? That's a new title for you, isn't it, Kyle?
That is, yeah. I haven't heard that used a whole lot. It's only about 2 to 3 weeks old, so super exciting. I've been with New Belgium for 6 years now. So previously was director of brands, and got promoted to a VP level a few weeks ago.
Nice. Well, congrats. So are you taking over for Sean and he's now CMO or?
Yep, exactly. So Sean's chief marketing officer, and Sean's expanded responsibility includes overseeing both New Belgium and bbls, the marketing functions for both breweries, and then I'll focus almost exclusively on New Belgium and our brands.
Nice. Awesome. Well, we're happy to have you here today. Thanks for being here because I know you guys have, good. 2 big launches, right? And they're both sort of high octane spring launches. So one of them is the Juice Force. And I have a fun little story about Juice Force because you guys are kind enough to send me some of your new stuff. And I cracked one of those babies open at like 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning when I was decorating for my daughter's party because I needed something to just bring the stress down. And let me tell you, it was smooth sailing after that. Yep. I didn't know where I was, but no, it was delicious.
Good. Yeah, I like it.
Nice. Well, all right. Enough about me. Tell me a little bit about the New Belgium, just the Voodoo Ranger series in general. It just continues to amaze us. I mean, it's so huge in the last handful of years since it launched. It's like the #2 craft brand in scan data. And, how has it broken through such a cluttered space to just continue resonating and gaining share?
Yeah, it's been a runaway train in a lot of respects, and it's been a really fun runaway train. It's been a blast to work on the last 4.5 years since we first launched Voodoo Ranger. And I think a couple things have driven its success. First and foremost with New Belgium, we make world-class beers. So everything we put the Voodoo Ranger label on, the New Belgium label on, they're great IPAs. So, I think that is one just driving mechanism of why the portfolio has been so successful. I think it's hard not to point to the brand. Obviously, it's very, very distinctive in the world of craft. I think back to when we first launched Voodoo Ranger, and a lot of just, people within the company or the industry was like, what the hell is that? And I think it's allowed us to just be really different from a lot of the other IPA brands out there. And obviously we've done a lot to build around that brand. It's more than just kind of the packaging design, the characters, Instagram, a lot of the advertising that we're doing, activations. It's all sort of reinforcing this really different, unique character that, we are seeing a lot of younger craft beer drinkers gravitate towards. So I think the brand has certainly helped us just bring new craft drinkers into Voodoo Ranger and IPA in general. So, I think great beers, great branding, and we've had really good partnership with our sales team. I mean, it's no question that the velocity and rate of sale is strong on just about any part of the Voodoo Ranger portfolio, but we've also picked up a ton of distribution. And we couldn't have done that without our customers and also our own sales team in New Belgium. So.
Right. And so Juice Force, that's the latest iteration. How many iterations of Voodoo Ranger do you do a year? I mean, there's at least a couple, right? And do you think that's part of its success, is that newness that keeps it relevant?
Yeah, I think, well, to answer your first part of the question, we do 3 rotator IPAs for Voodoo Ranger every year. So certainly a lot of that is just providing new news. We know that hoppy beer drinkers, there's always a search for something new and different. And so our rotating series fills that need for hoppy beer drinkers. So 3 of those per year. We also have a variety pack that's been, again, kind of a runaway success. We have a hoppy variety pack for Voodoo that's got kind of a rotating exclusive IPA that's in each one of those. We kind of bring back some old rotators, which, if you follow our Instagram closely, we have a lot of fans who are like, damn it, where did my higher plane go? Things like that get, reintroduced into the hoppy variety pack. And we do 3 different hoppy variety packs across the year. So that's general kind of what's changing or what's new annually. And then, sometimes we have a big launch. A couple of years ago, we had American Haze. And then this year we've got Juice Force, which is off to an awesome start. So,
tell me a little bit about the awesome start there. Like, it's been in market for like a month, or?
So we had a little bit of a staggered launch. So we rolled out in January with the 19.2 ounce single serves. And those were, you guys have seen the data points on how well we're doing in the convenience channel and with our other single serves with Imperial, Juicy Haze, and IPA. And that Juice Force 19.2 drastically exceeded our expectations. It was kind of like a, holy cow, this thing could be a monster. And so we've had a great first couple months on 19.2s and 6-pack. 12 ounce cans are rolling out now to the market. So those hit, probably mid-March, and we've got a lot of sort of delayed chain resets. So we're going to pick up a ton of 6-pack distribution for Juice Force in the next couple months as well. But yeah, so far, I think our hype stats on that, which aren't hard to find, we didn't have to do a lot of digging, but should no doubt be the #1 craft beer launch of the year. And I think when you look at total beer, it's roughly number 5, I think, is where we landed, at least in the latest Nielsen poll for new items. So yeah, the thing has a ton of momentum, and it's absolutely surpassing our lofty expectations for it.
Kyle, hi, it's Harry. Congratulations
Hey, Harry.
on your promotion. And I mean, the Voodoo franchise has just continues to amaze. And how important and what's your pricing strategy, and where does Voodoo fit kind of in that IPA segment?
Yeah, by all considerations, we have a pretty simple pricing strategy. We try to keep that simple for customers and our retailers. So we've got a couple of different tiers, and the higher octane stuff tends to live at a higher price point. Things like IPA, Juicy Haze, depending on the market, a little bit lower. And of course, these are recommended price points because that's not something we dictate in terms of price to consumer. But it's really just a couple different tiers. And I think the other piece of that we've been thinking about a lot is when we think about the brand that is Voodoo and the consumer that we're trying to reach, which often is just a different consumer than traditional craft, usually a little bit younger. We want to have great tasting IPAs, a wide variety of those at a really, approachable price point for a lot of people who might not necessarily purchase a lot of craft beer.
Right. Makes sense. And Jen, I think you're on mute, huh?
No, I know. I thought you're off mute, so I thought you had more questions, but I'm happy to jump back in. Kyle,
Kyle, we've only been doing this for a year, so we're still working out some of the technical.
I didn't even know you guys had a podcast, so I'm pumped. And now I got to add
we're,
that to
we're really good at marketing it, obviously.
Yeah, I didn't know we had a podcast either.
Yeah, Jen, don't worry. This doesn't go out on the internet or anything. Just freestyle.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh, I'm not worried. Kyle, I'm curious. I know you guys have invested a lot against marketing with the franchise. Can you share what that dollar amount is for Voodoo Ranger, and then we can move into the new Fruit Smash Super as well? I'd love to know that as well.
Yeah, so the dollars that we spend on Voodoo, those have increased exponentially over the last couple of years as we've seen more success, and really just reinvested a lot of that into growing the brand. So, approaching lower double digits, I would say, in the millions for Voodoo Ranger annually. So that's kind of where we're at. I think the fun part about it is, as we've increased the budget, we're starting to look at different tactics, and what we're trying to manage is just how do we continue to inject new creativity and new life into the character. That's first and foremost. It's all about creativity and keeping him sort of this fun, lighthearted personality. There's a lot of ways that you can dilute that in the forms of advertising. So, what we've really focused on in the last year or so is thinking about how the character comes to life in platforms like connected TV. So ads that show up on streaming services like Hulu, HBO Max, that's been a big recent focus for us, and where a lot of those increased dollars have gone.
That's cool. And I have to ask before we move on to the new Fruit Smash Super, I have definitely noticed a couple of top craft brands have followed your lead a bit, and they're now introducing their own sort of like animated mascots in their IPAs. And I got, is that, do you guys kind of bristle at that a little bit, or is that a compliment because you found some white space and other people are following suit?
Yeah, we've definitely taken note of that. It's been so crazy. I mentioned the runaway train earlier, and I think by and large, when we launched this in 2017, we came in as a challenger brand, and now quickly we're in this leadership position, and it's different. The view is different. We're trying to think differently, and we are starting to notice, people are paying attention, and they're trying some things that have been really successful for us. So, I think it's flattering, if anything, and yeah, we'll see how that works out for those other breweries. And yeah, I don't think we're surprised by it. I mean, as we've all seen, there's so many players in the craft world that, a lot of it is, oh, somebody's having success over here, let's try that. And, it's just part of being in a category that has 8,000 to 10,000 breweries in it. There's going to be some of that, and people are looking for ways to be successful. So not surprised and probably flattered, if anything.
Nice. Okay. How about you also have a new Fruit Smash Super rolling? That's a higher alcohol version of your Fruit Smash seltzer. So it's interesting too, because I know some of the larger guys, right? Some of the larger seltzer players have launched higher octane seltzers as well. And I feel like we haven't heard too much about their success. So why is this a good proposition for you guys? I guess it's another C-store play, right? Where you want to play in bigger, right?
Yeah, so partially C-store, a lot of grocery as well, and food channels. I think for us, first and foremost, we probably have the same theory as some of the bigger players in seltzer, but we've seen this movie before, to use the old cliche quote. So if you think about how craft started, it was kind of 5 to 6% pale ales. Now it's imperial IPAs close to 10%, and there's always sort of this migration in alcohol to more flavor intensity, higher alcohol offerings. So we've seen that in F&B too. When you think about Mike's Hard Lemonade, way back when, there's much harder lemonades now, including one that they do. So I think we saw that as a next space for seltzer to sort of graduate into, as people are going to look for higher alcohol offerings that service different occasions, that have more intensity. So we think it's a natural place for seltzer to go, and certainly some other players have rolled their higher alcohol variants out to market a little bit before ours. I think for Fruit Smash too, one of the things that we've positioned that brand around it is it's bold, it's kind of ridiculous, it's kind of fun, quirky, and a lot of the proposition is about real juice and more flavor. And so when you think about it through that lens of just kind of bold, more flavor, real juice, a higher alc formulation felt really right for the brand too. So again, we think it's kind of where the puck is going, and we think it makes a lot of sense for the Fruit Smash brand proposition.
Did you say, forgive me if I missed, where does the Fruit Smash brand rank, either nationally or in your regional backyard, in terms of biggest seltzer brands? Because I know, like, I was just in Colorado a month or so ago and I saw it everywhere, right? But of course, that's your backyard. Yep. So how does that play out?
Yeah, in our best markets, we're probably top 10, top 15 seltzer when you think about all seltzer. Other markets obviously aren't quite as favorable as our backyard. So that's kind of where we stand. We had some really good peaks for Fruit Smash over the summer, which now I think we're all learning wasn't too much of a surprise, but hey, seltzer's really seasonal. That seemed even more amplified this past summer. But there were some peaks during the summer where it was our number one 12-pack in terms of rate of sale for New Belgium. When you think about powerhouses like Imperial 12 packs, that thing does big numbers pretty much all year round. But so we definitely had some peaks in the summer, and I think our goal moving forward is to still maintain that top 10, top 15 total seltzer brand.
Cool. Then just one more sort of big outlook question for me. But obviously, you guys have integrated with bbls. Any thoughts on how that's gone? And, do you expect to grow together this year?
Yeah, the integration process has gone really well. Sort of had that period of just getting to know one another. It's two very great cultures, a lot of great people, and a lot of, combined expertise, where the more we learn about their business and their capabilities and vice versa, we're starting to figure out, like, hey, this could be a real powerhouse in craft beer. So yeah, on the marketing front with respect to that too, I think we're starting to recognize that, hey, these portfolios are actually really complementary. So when you think about what bbls does with Oberon in the wheat space, we don't have a ton of brands that play into that for New Belgium, really hardly any at all. And even brands like, Too Hard and Voodoo Ranger, when you think about how those are positioned and the types of people who consume those brands, like very, very different, both IPAs, but, very different propositions and different consumer bases. So I've been primarily focused kind of on working on the marketing side of things, obviously with Scott Powell, who's leading bbls marketing, and of course, Sean Belangi, who's our CMO. So that's my purview is a little limited there, but I think we're all really excited with how it's all coming together. And again, so much to learn from one another with two awesome companies and cultures.
Right. And Kyle, along those lines, it's probably not under your purview, but it is breaking today that New Belgium is laying off 30 employees as a result of the merger. And how does that affect your department? And any further comments on that?
Yeah, I'm going to decline to share a whole lot on that, to be honest.
I understand.
Our communications team has a lot of prepared responses, and they're available after this call or later today to talk through that stuff.
I really am glad we got some of your time, and especially on a kind of a holiday. So that was nice of you to come on.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to be here, and got to start downloading this podcast.
For sure. It's every week sometimes.
I love it.
Most times.
Yeah, 80%.
80% of the time, or 99% of the time it works, whatever. Anyway.
So sometimes we do it like 4 times a week, and then sometimes we go without any. So it evens out to about once a week, I think.
But Kyle, you guys, just one more question for me. Y'all do expect to grow together this year, barrels, right? And you'll together be past the 1 million barrel mark, right?
Yeah, easily. Definitely expect to grow. And, on the New Belgium side, where you guys put out some data, I think a couple days ago, that we're up 8% on the New Belgium side. And we've got a lot of momentum on the New Belgium side of things with, even Fat Tire is having a nice year with the on-premise resurgence. So that brand is down low single digits, and Voodoo's obviously continues to do its thing. So I think collectively across bbls and New Belgium, we're going to have a really great 2022.
Awesome. Well, there's a bunch of 18-wheelers passing by us, and Harry's about to flip his lid if he hears that. So I bid you adieu for Easter weekend. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate you being on and being candid with us and sharing, a little behind the scenes. And congrats again.
Thank you. Thank you both, and have a lovely weekend.